One of the great advancements that Our Daughter's House has made this year is bringing on a seasoned and experienced program director. And I want to introduce you all to Desiree Parker. Desiree, why don't you take a few minutes to share with us a little bit about yourself and your experience?
I've been working in actually the anti-trafficking field for the last 10 or so years. Working with organizations like Redeemed Ministries and Elijah Rising, partnering with law enforcement, and one of the things that I've realized over the last 10 years is that the majority of the women that I've worked with, probably over 100 women over the last 10 years, have all had some kind of contact with the foster care system. Whether they've just come and gone from it or they've been a part of it their whole lives. Exposure to the foster care system is one of the most common elements that we've seen in trafficking over the years. So the latest nationwide busts that we're seeing in trafficking stings right now, at least 80% of these kids are coming from the foster care system, the group homes and residential treatment centers and things like that. So trafficking preys upon those vulnerabilities and just continually compounds on them. So one of the things that is so great about Our Daughter's House, and that you can really be so encouraged about partnering with Our Daughter's House about, is that you're really being part of a preventative solution that's really never been around before. Yeah. We've worked on the post-trauma end for a long time now, but this is a chance to be on a pre-trauma solution. The amount of young ladies that we'll be able to house over the next year really depends a lot on how much money we're able to raise.
Yeah, and how many are we hoping to house over the course of this next year?
We're hoping to be able to house 6 girls.
Okay.
6 young women.
Yeah. And this is such an important thing for us, especially those of us in the church who want to bring solutions to bear.
Absolutely.
And provide a place for a redemptive environment to take place. Because as you share with your experience of dealing with women who've dealt with the trauma of sexual trafficking and human trafficking, there's an opportunity not only to provide a safe alternative, but also to begin changing the story as it pertains to foster care and the hope of these girls coming out of this environment. And so what are you looking forward to as you get going here at Our Daughter's House to seeing accomplished?
So many things. I'm just really excited about the opportunity to see these young women build family. The most important element of healing, I think, that I've ever, that really any of us have ever seen in this work is relationship building. Relationship building is key to healing.
Yes.
Of any kind. We're created for relationship. We are created to be in relationship. And trauma severs relationships, and so the opportunity to create a family, and for the opportunity for these young women to come into a home with a family and learn what that's about, so that the next generation doesn't go into foster care. Yeah.
And so in your line of work, having worked with other organizations and ministries that deal with this type of thing, we know clearly that you're in it for the money, right? Because of course, because that's it. And so in light of that, and of course, if you're watching, you think that's true, I just want to caveat again and say that's not true. But there's got to be a deeper why for you. How is this tapping into the sense of calling in your own life and giftings? And how do you see Our Daughter's House being a vehicle where you can really invest yourself in that? Oh,
100%. And God called me to work with women and young women who had experienced trauma many years ago. And so even before I went into the anti-trafficking movement, I worked with Houston Area Women's Center as a volunteer. So domestic violence and organization. So this is something that's been a call on my life for as long as I can remember.
So how did you come to learn about Our Daughter's House in the first place? Because knowing your background a bit, and y'all have to get to know Desiree on your own to know the full story, but this isn't your first rodeo. You've been a part of some major organizations. And so what was most compelling to you to come be a part of what's going on here?
It was honestly, I learned about it through one of the board members who used to volunteer with another organization I worked with. So we kind of cross-pollinate a little bit in these fields. But the opportunity to be on the prevention side you know, there's a man named Dave Batstone who's been in the anti-trafficking world for 1,000,000 years. And he used to say, you know, we've been pulling bodies out of the river for so long now, we need to go to the top of the river and find out why they're falling in and stop them before they fall in. Yeah. And that stuck with me since I read his book years ago. And I think that's what this is. It's that opportunity to stop people before they fall in.
It feels like when you say 6 women we're hoping to house in this next year, the need is so profound.
It is.
And so while 6 women is a feat, where do you hope to see us in the next 3 to 5 years?
Sure. We would love to see a home for boys, you know, something similar, well, something like this, but for boys as well, because so many efforts are focused on girls, which is great, but at the same time a shame, because all of these same things happen to boys. So we'd love to see a home for boys at some point, and expansion of services for girls as well.
Yeah. Well, we're excited for the work that you will be doing. And just for those of you who are considering contributing, we have been blessed to have Desiree join our team just with her amount of experience. And as you're investing in the lives of these girls, as you're helping to create family for them, as you're providing a safe place for them to come and learn what it means to have a safe home, just know that we are willing to invest in the best experience possible for these young ladies. And again, if you are interested in giving at this time, you can text the word GIVE to 833-768-7290.